You still have secretary? Mark said he was coming.
Oh.
But he's on ambulance duty, so. Yeah.
Good evening to the September 7th, 2016 Economic Development Council session. And we'd like to stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we start, we can just go around the room. Cheryl, we'll start with you.
Cheryl Anderson?
Steve Langley.
Derek Horn.
Charlie Tentis, Chair.
Andrew Carteret, Vice Chair.
Kathy Hooten.
Excellent. Derek, we're ready.
All right, the first item, I sent out copies of the August 3rd minutes to everyone, and you have a printed copy on the table in front of you this evening.
Any comments?
I'm going to just say, Derek, I will trust you on the EdSat recommendations. I read that step 1 becomes step 2. Step 2 becomes step 1. Step 2A becomes, as long as he's got that, I'll make a motion to approve. But I'm assuming that we've incorporated that all into this, which I think you have.
I think the only one I had, if it is a typo or not, at the adjournment. I made a motion to adjourn at 7:06 and the meeting adjourned at 7:30. Was that correct?
Oh, probably not. I probably have it.
Took a while to decide.
We had a lot of
24
talking
meetings.
going on.
It was up for
I was
debate.
kind of thinking maybe 7:26.
Yeah, probably 7:20.
It's gotta be, that's funny.
Not a major thing, but I think
No,
I
but-
mentioned it anyway, since we're hanging around
Some
for an
wanted
extra
to
half
stay.
hour before the meeting ends.
Sarah just put that there just, just to see
testing
if
us.
we were reading.
I'll second Andy's motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Abstain?
Abstain.
Okay.
Abstain.
All right. For old business, I have the EdSat recommendations. Before that, Charlie had asked for an update on the master plan review. We had done the memo for the planning board. I did talk to Jonathan O'Rourke. The planning board did receive that memo and were appreciative of the work that the EDC did. However, they got the correspondence at about 10:55 p.m. on their last meeting, so they haven't had a chance to actually discuss it.
As long as they have it. that's
Yeah,
the key.
no, they have it. They've got a couple members on the planning board that are working on the master plan, and I'll continue to follow that and let you know. Like I said, they were appreciative of the work, but haven't had a chance to go through it or discuss it.
I don't think we want them taking it up at 10:55.
No. As for the EdSet recommendations, we still had the handout, which Andy had referenced in the minutes. And what I've done is, at the top of the page, I included an optional step and then put a recommended pre-application meeting and tried to talk about what that meeting is and show that it's available twice a month. And then step 1 and step 2, I did not change. There was some discussion last meeting about putting technical review in front of the formal application. But in Goffstown, we do not require technical review before formal application. That's more the pre-application meeting above. So I think that covers that. And then we put step 2A for abutters and general notice to the general public. And then on step 5, we had talked about moving around continue application, approve application, those items. And then the checklist is still on the reverse for staff to work with somebody and put notes on there and such.
Makes sense to me. Steve, you go through this process. What do you think?
I think we reviewed it pretty thoroughly last meeting, and I was happy with the comments we made and changes we made. I think it's looking good.
Is it, I'm briefly going through is there anything that mentions here that once it's approved, there's a time limit?
No, I think I did put, that may be approved with conditions and that there are conditions met. Usually that is something that we put on notice of decision, what those hard timelines are. They're explained in the development regulations. And just, I didn't include them on here because this is really somebody thinking about a concept and trying to get them into the process. And since that's so far at the end, I figured we could,
But once no, I'm saying, like, if once it's accepted by the planning board.
Oh, the 65-day limit?
Right,
No,
okay,
I didn't. Again, that's one of those, it's an important detail about the process, but it's explained in the application.
okay,
Because there is a waiver that people can sign and waive that 65-day shot clock.
yep,
And I just felt that that detail was a little bit too much.
Too much?
Yeah, I was kind of
Okay.
running out of room and pushing stuff
if
around.
it's on the application.
It is on the application.
That's good, that's good.
You'd almost think if you put too much in there,
Yeah,
then they'll
becomes-
lose focus on
right.
what you're really trying to get
Right.
them to do.
correct.
It's not going to do its job.
And I think the biggest thing is probably the checklist on the back that,
Yeah.
like I said, staff can
Huge.
use and kind of just jot some notes on there and tell people, yep, you're gonna need this, you're not gonna need this.
Anything else?
So they're gonna submit their application, and then, O'Rourke will then decide whether or not it needs to go to zoning board or can go to planning board without going to zoning board.
Yes, he
And
does
then once
that.
that happens, then they go to the technical review committee. Okay,
Yep, he does that as part of his review, is he catches it. Because usually when they get an application in, it gets sent out to all the departments that are listed under the technical review committee. And most of the time, it is John O'Rourke or Patty Gale that catches and say, oh, I think they need this variance or this special exception, or they need something. They'll catch that and start them through that process. But it's also an opportunity for any of those other entities to figure that out as well.
Next steps? I think we're in agreement.
Next steps, I think we just send it to the planning board, suggest that staff start using this and publish it on the website as a how-to.
I just have three just formatting things.
Oh, okay.
Take it or don't take it.
Great, thank you.
And then obviously, once it's done, it's something we'd have on paper and on the website.
Yes.
So if we had a walk-in, it's available.
Yep.
Or they can do it on the website.
Yes.
And where would it be located on the website?
Under the planning department, which is, and we can also link to it from economic development.
Yeah, that'd be good. On a couple of spots.
Yep.
Great, nice work.
The next item under the EdSat recommendations, and I guess this would be a question for Selectman Lemay, the economic development strategy. When Chairman Georgianis was here last month, he had talked, saying that the Board of Selectmen would bring that up and ask that I put it on the agenda.
Yep.
That was the meeting I was covering for Sue. I didn't put it on the agenda because it was so packed full.
Yeah,
So that's something that I guess we'd still like to see whether the Board of Selectmen are going to move forward with that and how they'll move forward with that. So I guess if,
I would definitely put it on the agenda, talk to Sue.
okay,
If we can hit it up this week. I know Sue's got a couple things on the 12th meeting, but, yeah, we'll get it up, bring it to the board and see what their thoughts are and go from there. I'm all in favor of it.
then I'll put in an agenda request form
Yeah.
with Sue tomorrow
Yeah.
and see if she can fit it in on.
Yeah.
It'd be good if that committee could kind of get formed. Obviously, you're coming into your busy time now, and
Yep, yeah, we're
before you
starting.
know it, we'll blink and there's no committee and it's spring
Yeah.
again. It'd be good if we could at least get that rolling and see who we could put on it.
Yep,
All right, the next item, Charlie had asked for a storefront activity update, so I just gave you, it's real brief, just a little spreadsheet. And this shows some of the active development, some of the sites where we have open building permits or we have people moving. And then below our available space that is being currently marketed for lease or sale. I know there are quite a few other sites out there that have approved site plans. Additional storage at Tatro Drive
Yep.
on Mass Road. Also the gas station on the back road at the radio towers. Those are all approved plans, and there are a handful of them out there, but we don't have active building permits for those. But just going down through them, if you've noticed the old Jutra sign building where the fire was in February, they've done quite a bit of site work there, and it looks like they're about prepared to pour the foundation there.
I
It's
can add,
O'Reilly, isn't it?
yes,
Yes.
you're right. I can add to that, Derek. Today, the Manchester Waterworks was there pretty much all day. They put new shut-offs, new valves, new everything in the ground. They had all the old stuff out on the sidewalk. I just happened to drive by, and I know they spent the entire day working there, so I mean, their foundation looks like it's all dug out whenever they get there, but yeah, they're moving along pretty quick, pretty fast.
There.
All it took was burning the place down.
Yep. Basically, yeah.
We didn't need all those permits to get rid of everything.
Yeah, right.
I saw them, however, the 10,000-gallon oil tank that was out back. I don't know if any of you had a chance to drive by. When they fill that thing up with concrete, they spent almost a half a day cutting the steel away from it. And when they undressed that tank for whatever, for the reasons being to break apart the concrete, it was a perfectly round hunk of steel that fit a 10,000-gallon tank. They spent almost 3/4 of a day busting it all up and hauling it
Oh,
up.
it was
Oh, wow.
previously filled with concrete?
Previously filled with concrete, yeah,
It's a lot better when they fill them with sand.
yeah, true. This one was concrete. They stripped it off, got all the metal off,
Oh, my
and
gosh.
it was perfectly round. Yeah,
Working down, you've got the renovations at Hannaford Shopping Center. They've been, the interior renovations, if anyone's been there, they've been doing a considerable amount of work inside
good.
there.
Notice they're putting a new roof on the front of it.
Yep.
New mansard.
Yep.
Just about done, they said.
Yep.
they messed up my most favorite store.
Oh, now you gotta find everything again, huh?
Yeah.
It's like a,
Exactly.
you in the wilderness,
Yeah.
yeah.
I like the guys, though. They have guys, I don't know if you've been there, they got guys in yellow shirts. You don't have any questions, ask the guys in yellow shirt. They'll tell you what aisle it's in, and they've now put in stickers on certain things where things used to be, if you were here looking for this, go to aisle 1. If you're here looking for this, go to aisle 3.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, they've done their best.
They've turned the entire store
Wow.
upside down, Charlie.
That's Hannaford Traffic Control.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's good.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
pretty user-friendly.
yeah.
It
I guess
is.
they had a lot of complaints, and they addressed them, and they did a good job on it.
They had to do it at Sully's.
Out behind Town Hall, you may have noticed the building that is on Cribbing. That was an old shed behind the fire department, and that was moved there about a month ago now.
Yep, just about a month.
Yep. Where the yarn shop used to be, Panzieri Plumbing has moved from Main Street into there, and the Eric Fletcher is currently working on a site plan for that new building. So talked to his surveyor today, so they're working on that. And then the one that I guess had piqued Charlie's interest was the old Cumberland Farms at 41 Main Street. That's currently being renovated for conversion to retail and office space. And then there are some deed restrictions that will affect the new owners there.
No
But,
gasoline, no convenience store,
No
coffee shop.
convenience.
Can you go into, so the previous owner, when they sold it, they put on
He put those stipulations in.
restrictions in
Yep.
it?
Yep.
So not to affect their business up the street.
Yeah.
Big supermarkets do the same thing. And they-
Pretty restrictive.
Yes.
Yeah,
it
that's
is.
what I'm thinking. I
Very.
mean, it's a shame we didn't lobby for something, because
Yep.
I
Well,
don't
that
know
would
what
be-
impact we could have had, but as far as economic development,
Be a nice-
restricting your choice to do what you want with your property is not a
Mm.
good thing that I
Well, that's,
support.
the people that bought it should have probably
Well,
pushed
and then-
back a little more.
And I don't know what the final price was, that
So
definitely
that
affects the
impacted
market
the
price. So,
restrictions,
yeah.
sure.
Yep.
I can't even have a restaurant.
And then
Should
there's
offer
a,
coffee.
there's a list of available spaces. The one item not on here that doesn't deal with economic development, but is a pretty sizable project, is St. Anselm College is doing a pretty big rebuild and addition on the student center at the Carr Center there right now.
What are they doing in the
Making
front there?
New entrance. That's gonna-
They're relocating their
wall.
entrance.
The
Okay.
wall,
They're
too.
making a
Making
new entrance.
Okay, that's the wall,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Fancy
I was
new-
hoping it wasn't the sign.
No, they're putting a big new wall, and they've been working, because DPW is doing quite a bit of work on College
College
Road,
Road,
so.
sewer too.
Yep, yep.
So green pipes there.
They're gonna run new sewer lines up College Road
Yeah, I guess so.
and retar the road.
Eventually put in a sidewalk, I would say.
There is a sidewalk that'll
Go all
go
around.
all the way up and down,
On the
so.
right side heading towards St. A's.
Just put
It's gonna
sewer
cut
down
close
there.
on some of those properties.
I was just thinking, there's not a lot of space there. Yeah, they fall off into the tree gully area in somebody's lawn.
It will, but at the same time, it'll also give the students more access down into the businesses.
For the businesses, I'd be thrilled. You know, have them walking
Yeah.
down into town now.
Yep.
Most of them drive anyway. They don't like to walk anywhere, but.
Is Chiggy's moving?
No, the bottom half is just available space, and if there's something in parentheses, it's just to try and give people an idea. No, Chickies is still there, doing very well, as I understand it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
There's
But,
always a line there when I go by.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
yeah, but you know, there's quite a bit of vacancy still at Shaw's, and as you know, as you can see there, one of the old supermarket space is quite large.
54,000.
At Shaw's Plaza also, the fire alarm system's been all updated, finally. Yeah, finally, after years of arguing back and forth, and it's all brand new. The only thing that hasn't been touched is the actual Shaw's itself. Whoever buys it is going to get stuck with bringing it up to date, but all the buildings, they're all changed over, all new, so hopefully that'll be a joy for people.
And then here in the village, there's a couple, 4 Main Street, which has a couple businesses on the first floor, across from the Common, is currently listed, and then the Vixters building is also currently listed. I know TRC's met with interested people about 4 Main Street, but we haven't really seen anything yet, so.
Is Vixter's leaving?
No, this is the whole building is for sale. The Vixters is just a tenant.
Any action on that at all?
Not that I've heard of, so.
What's 4 Main Street?
Where the barber shop is, across
Yeah,
from the
fashion.
Common.
Where the
Chiropractor in
jewelry
there.
shop.
Okay, yeah,
that-
the old
Powden,
food liner
yeah.
building.
Yeah,
Yep.
Powden's, that
The
whole,
old food line.
that whole corner.
The food liner, Dave's
I
Food
used to
Liner.
work there, yeah.
Right.
Sad Tomato was in there, too.
Yes.
Yeah, the
You used
Sad
to-
Tomato,
Yeah, that one,
yeah.
yeah.
We used to get good
Did
food.
you used to work there?
Yep, after school.
When it was the food liner?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
dating myself with that one, but
Yeah,
yes.
that was back there a while, huh?
I was friends with his daughter, yeah.
You walk into the back, get meat out of the cooler.
I know, yeah.
That's been for sale for quite a long time.
It has been for, yeah, it's been up for. a
But it
while.
has active tenants in it, right?
It does have active
Upstairs.
tenants. The only thing that is not active is the 3rd floor, is the old Oddfellows
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
been,
Hall.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that on historical register, that building?
Many of the buildings here are listed in the village district as a district altogether, not individually. That one's not listed individually, but it is a contributing building to the register, and it's also within the community revitalization zone, so it would be available for some local tax credits. So it's not listed by itself, but it is listed as part of the Goffstown Village.
The house across from the Cumberland Farms is on the historical register.
Okay.
The Judy, I forget what.
McDonald's used to live there, wasn't it McDonald?
I don't
She
know.
lived on the corner.
That, it's the beautiful, it's now for sale.
Gorgeous house.
It just went out for sale across.
With the barn,
With the barn,
Yeah,
yeah.
with the barn.
Yeah, with the
What
barn.
building is that?
across from the new Cumberland Farms, it's
Oh.
got the antique shop in the,
Yeah,
They've done a nice job on
Just
that.
went up for sale?
yeah, it just went out for sale. She's a VP at St. Aid. See,
St. Mary's. Can I ask, so the Mill Street, or whatever this property is here, is not, the mill's not on this, is that?
no, it isn't.
Because
That,
we talked about it so much.
no, again, that one is, has some of the approvals. Kathy, you may know more, so you can always correct me. They have zoning board approvals for some variances to allow the subdivision, because it would create a non-conforming lot with no frontage and some other items. And they have some of their planning board approvals, but they haven't done formal engineered site plan approvals. They've got their conditional use permits, but not actual.
Is it still moving along?
I-
Is there activity?
We've talked with Alan and tried to answer his questions, and I know he's still an active player in it. How much it's moving along, I don't know.
And I think, last I thought, he had changed some of the subdivision plans of the property. So he's working, I think, with people along with the subdivided properties to see how it's going to pull together. But there are a lot, like you said, in and out of traffic. There's a lot of issues with that. But it's a beautiful project. There's no question about it. It's a beautiful project. I work now for Langer Associates at Langer Place in the mill yard. I mean, what they've done with that mill down there, making it into office buildings and a manufacturing facility in the basement. I mean, if something like that, which this apparently looks like it possibly could be like, would be just such an asset to this town. I mean, the proximity on the river,
Or I hope it continues to move along.
Yeah. Be a good cornerstone for the village, that's for sure. Well, this is a good list, thank you.
And I can update this periodically.
It's good to kind of know, because
Yep.
then we're kind of aware of what's going on too, and
Yep.
if you ever see anyone or talk with anybody.
And the storage expansion should be on there. That permit is probably, like, you might have just missed it by
Just
hours,
missed it, okay.
Because that job will start within a week.
Okay.
Steve, that's all cold storage up there, gonna be cold storage,
Yep.
no
Drive up, drop off, 400 more units.
400?
Yep.
Wow.
So is that
The
going west
existing-
with the profile?
Yep. The existing building is almost full, the new building.
great.
So
Now, are these listed on the Goffstown website as available properties?
No, we've never listed available properties. The state is currently in the process of working with New Hampshire Cybor, which is the commercial realtor group in New Hampshire, to develop a website statewide that provides, will have like a database where people can say, I'm looking for this type of building or this size square footing in this area. And there may be availability to use that as a plugin on the website. But they have just announced that within, I think they did they actually had a blog post yesterday about it. They're gonna have training for realtors to how to upload information to this website in another week before they go live with it. So they still haven't gone live with it, but this is kind of the idea of the shovel-ready sites, and then work hopefully with Southern New Hampshire on the certified sites program to kind of do those. But that's New Hampshire Department of Economic Development.
Do we have, I mean, even a thing like a bulletin board in an office that lists the properties that are available. But if you go on, I know if I go on and I try and look to see what commercial properties are available in Goffstown, the only one that I have ever seen is the one down by the river, the steel, down there, by where the steel place was when it was available. And I was always curious, why, as a town, don't we list properties that are available?
I don't know. I know when we were designing the website in the economic portion, I had put a holder there for available properties, but do you just list properties that are listed by a commercial realtor? Do you do anybody, like, do you have any set of?
What's the criteria?
What's the criteria for putting it in? If the state gets theirs up and running, I think letting them set their criteria and simply using that as a plug-in on our website might be nice. Currently, a lot of the times, if I need to find out if somebody calls asking about available info or sites, New England Commercial Property Exchange is a really good resource. But again, those are all listed through commercial realtors.
How do other towns handle it?
Some will actually list them, some have, will work with the NH Cyborg to have the commercial property exchange, like I said, as a plugin on their site, so they don't even have to maintain it. It's a little box on your website that is pointing to their website, so you're not even maintaining anything. You're just,
So it's like a link.
it's like a link,
Link.
but it's right
works.
there.
With JavaScript, so you can
And
search.
Right.
how soon do they anticipate that going?
I don't know, I can send you a copy of they're having, like I said, they're having a webinar on training for commercial realtors on the 13th, so my guess is they're probably looking to roll it out pretty soon. I went on it and looked at it, it still has some few tweaks that they probably have to work out, but I would say this fall. I know, last year, they had talked that they were getting ready to roll this out.
So would the developer put the information, give it to them? I mean, would the person who's selling it give it to them and then
Yep.
they put it on the website?
Yes,
So it'd be the responsibility of whoever's selling it
whoever's selling it, whether it's the
to
property
list it
owner or
onto
the,
this?
yep,
Okay.
yep. Yeah.
Is there a fee for them to do that, do you know?
I don't know,
Okay.
but I can
Just
try and
curious.
find out.
It sounds better if we have a link versus,
Yeah,
first of all, everyone here doesn't have enough time to be listing and adding. and
Yeah.
Right.
Calling
Yeah.
requests, I need
Right.
this put in
Yeah,
there.
I don't
and
think
then
you
all of
want
a
to
sudden,
maintain that.
Then it's like a yard sale.
Town's not in the real
Yeah,
estate
yeah.
It's
business.
not a yard, exactly. So if we could tie in with that,
Yeah.
Yep.
with a link, that'd be awesome.
Derek,
Let them do the work.
do any of these qualify for certified sites? Any of these at all?
Certified sites, yeah, many of them would qualify for certified sites, yes, yep.
You're talking about the one down here, right? Because we don't know.
The ones down
Which-
here, yep, these, the ones up here,
They're already taken or what?
well, they're already taken, but some of them are, whether you talk about the old Cumberland Farms, they're
Yeah.
currently renovating it for a conversion, but they haven't completed it, so.
Do they have tenants?
It's still being actively listed for lease, so, I don't believe they do.
Have any of these owners contacted certified sites? Put on your-
No, but we can reach out to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know that Remax building in the corner of Daniel Plummer, that's the one you're talking about, right?
Yeah, yes.
What, isn't there some waterway there or some restrictions, the ice house or something that goes along with what you, is there something there about wetlands?
Well,
in
there
the
is,
area,
that's Whittlebrook that comes down through there.
or- Yeah,
And there are some restrictions in our zoning, but if it's for a commercial development, most of those restrictions are reduced quite a bit.
okay, so that is zone commercial, just that one spot,
Yes,
right?
it is, yep,
Okay.
yep, that corner.
How far does that 5 acres go back?
That's what I'm trying to figure out, how does the
It's
property-
really the dry portion of it, because that lot actually goes all the way back and includes the
Swamp.
that you see
And the ice house, right?
from 114, yeah, and the ice house, yeah.
So does any of that land go up, like, up behind where Absolute Data Destruction is?
No,
That far?
it goes up behind, is it Springfield Road? I think?
Springfield, yeah, good. It butts up,
Goes
I
behind the
believe,
Bank of
Gossam McRae's
America.
property.
Yep,
And then from Gossam McRae's property, Springfield, Lammy Drive takes over and comes down, Charlie, along Data Destruction, where the cell tower is. It's a different,
So, right, so it's all, it's be like the northwest side
Right there.
yeah,
of
correct.
that, out near that pond.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
it's,
along Daniel Plummer though, right? Doesn't it extend up Daniel Plummer?
I don't know that there's access from Daniel Plummer.
Can you update that?
That 5 acres is basically what you're seeing right at the corner there.
Correct.
The lot is,
It's a funny,
I think-
Clear,
It's
the
an odd-
field and the building.
yeah, yeah, I think the whole lot's 32, 30,
It's Granite State Plumbing and Heating's back there, correct?
Is it the orange one?
Not
Yeah.
for
They
years
used
they
to,
haven't.
they
no,
used,
that,
Yeah,
no,
we're
that's-
along-
Commercial.
So you're saying that's like
So-
30 acres?
yeah,
Everything.
yeah, but there's a
But
lot
it kicks
of,
back where it's all.
lot of wetlands, a lot of in the back, but there's
Big
about
puzzle out there.
So the 5 acres is the buildable in the front.
buildable in the front.
Oh,
I was
okay.
just curious.
Because I had heard it was bigger than that, so I didn't know if it was.
It is, the whole lot as it's currently is substantially larger than 5 acres, but only
Buildable is
the
fine.
buildables.
Are there utilities there?
yes.
Yes.
Water and sewer?
Yep.
Sewer's right there, there's a
The stub,
stub right there.
right there. It's
So
right
it's
at the
not
end of Daniel
connected though,
Plumbing.
is it?
It's right at
Nope.
the end of Daniel
Yeah,
Plummer.
we
Because
brought
that
it
building right
down
now
with-
doesn't have sewer, I don't think, right?
No,
Doesn't have a
probably, because
septic?
we just brought that stub down with the Yara When we
Okay.
did 114, that's when we brought the stub down to Daniel Plummer.
And what about water?
There's water.
There's
Oh,
water,
yeah, there's
because
water
water goes
there.
all the way up Daniel Plummer.
Because they did the water at the same time. Why-
And there's gas?
I don't know, there's a lot of
Must be
gas
gas at the
down
plaza,
there.
right?
There's a lot of
Gas
gas.
They
at
got
Shaw's
gas at the
Plaza?
plaza, but nothing, all the businesses, Lammy Drive, they all have the large
Propane?
propane
Yeah.
tanks.
See-
Where is natural gas? Natural gas on Mass Road?
Natural gas
There is
is on,
on,
Yes.
there is on Mass Road, yes.
So they might have gas there. It stopped, it didn't go up Daniel Plummer, none of the utilities went up
But it's
Daniel
possible
Plummer.
that they could
But
get
they can
service.
tap it right at the intersection.
Sure.
That's good.
it's there.
It'd be nice if something went in there after all these years of looking at that thing.
I don't know, it's too bad.
Well, I wish they, that little barn, I mean, when they.
Oh, the ice shed?
had the plan down in Penardville,
Yep.
that was a major, save that ice shed because it's historical and looking at it.
It's
And
still valid.
It could be saved in any
Could be
development,
saved,
though,
yeah, it could be-
because
could
you're
be
not gonna
saved.
develop up against that brook,
No,
No.
right.
so.
It could be saved. Excellent
That's a
list.
good
Thank
piece
you.
of property. With all that utilities
Yeah.
and traffic.
Thanks, Derek, that's good.
Put the Christmas tree shop there.
Senior housing, senior housing.
like my wife, she wants a Christmas tree shop to go in the Shaw's Plaza in the worst way, but
Bingo.
I don't think it'll happen.
We were talking about putting it on Steve's property.
Bring it in.
Shaw's Plaza's a better spot for it.
The next item I have on the agenda are upcoming meetings. The Manchester Chamber of Commerce has an economic forecast luncheon on next Wednesday. If anyone's interested in that, there is a small cost and registration's required, but we could pay for it out of the economic development. I have to look at my schedule, but
I can't get
I
it.
don't know that I can. And then, and at the end of the month is the Tri-City Expo. That's a business-to-business expo, but it is open to the public, and there's no cost for attendance. There's cost for people who have the booths, but I know there's been a lot of talk by this group about, to see what the state provides at these type of things and see how other people advertise their services, so.
I'll be going.
And I can send a link to this as well. The list of the exhibitors are on there. And,
Yeah, if we can get that list, that'd be
Yep.
good.
and then the only other thing is, I didn't know, Selectman Lemay, if you could provide an update maybe on the I-293, the public meeting that was in April, or in August?
Yep, that meeting was held, was attended by a majority of the people were from Manchester. We did have a few from Goffstown. They are planning to move on to the next part of the study, which is part of still of the environmental assessment, looking at the animals and the wildlife and everything like that. They're moving forward. There's no stopping this train. It's just a matter of how far up 93 the exit goes and where it goes. I mean, they had several drawings on the board, and several drawings brought many of the ends of the exit ramp right to Goffstown, Straw Road, Dunbarton Road, Blackbrook Road area. There was several different, and they did a study of cars. I didn't bring my paperwork. I got shanghaied to work at the firehouse tonight and get caught on a run to boot. But there's surprisingly a very large number of cars that they've got a study. They've done studies. 400 some odd cars in the morning would be diverted to the other way, and it's almost 400 or 500 cars at night would be diverted back the other way. Everything that they've had is all positive. There's been very little resistance from people. The people are in the area are they're all in favor of it. The concern is when they come through the 293 between the mills and the river. Will they go over will they build over the river, or will they take some of the mill property and do a lane shift? They're not really sure what'll be held there, but they're looking at a new approach and development. This would be the first one in the state of New Hampshire. If it were to come through, one of the other developments or access was like the Granite Square, Granite Street area. They would make a ramp similar to that where we would go under, over, and, yeah, but that's the way it is. The roundabout has been thrown right out the window. That's not even on the table anymore, but, yeah, they had several drawings. Like I say, I didn't bring mine.
So they're narrowing their options? I mean,
They
they
are.
had a ton of them at one point,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they're down about 7 or 8 of them now, Steve, and they're trying to figure out which one will be the best and which one will work. And if they do it, they will probably start with the exit 7 first, so that they can divert traffic and move the traffic just up a little further north to get on the highway, so that they won't have any inconveniences of working with the traffic on the Amoskeag Rotary. They're definitely, their last talks were to start with the exit 7 exit and move down after to the Amoskeag exit Rotary area and see what happens.
So 7 would become a relief valve, so to speak, for 6.
Yes, yeah.
I remember in 2013, a couple drawings, when I did go, there were examples. One, I think, was named Marty. I think,
Yes,
from-
Marty, yeah.
He had said that a couple of those scenarios, none of them exist in New England. They're more
Correct.
of a southern
Yeah.
setup with this giant X or something.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool looking,
Yeah.
but I don't know if people
All of
get
the-
confused here in New England,
Yeah.
trying
All-
to maneuver through
Yeah,
that thing.
all of the diagrams and the information should be on the www.I-293 website for the state. If you go on the state website, they should be on there by now. They were going to log it up, load it up, and
And I can send the link out because I know that Adam McCune from GTV was over. He
Yeah,
filmed
he
it, and they
filmed-
they have a link to the video of the public hearing if
Yep.
you want to.
I think Adam took pictures of all of the diagrams, but, yeah, it's moving forward. I sometimes think the way they're planning, I think it's coming more towards Goffstown than it is Hooksett right now, so
Good.
we'll see what happens.
Excellent.
We'll take the traffic,
We've
but
had
not on
four
Mills Road.
meetings, 4 meetings this year. I think I've seen representative from Hooksett once, that's it, nobody goes.
Thank you for going.
Adam goes, Megan goes, the police chief was there, Captain Steckowich was there. We had a good
Contingent.
contingent, our voice was heard loud and clear, and they know what we're attempting to do, and they know we're on the track with them. So,
You guys are good squeaky wheels then.
yes, sir.
Thank you. Anything else?
The only other thing is I did copy an article from this month's Business New Hampshire magazine, just for everyone to take with you. It's about mixed-use zoning by Russ Tebow, who's an economist in the area, that talks about some of the development that's coming into Salem and Bedford and some of the other places. But that's just for you to take with you, because I know Charlie and I were talking about that a little bit before the meeting, so.
I just have a question about that annual economic forecast luncheon that's going on. Am I wrong in assuming that it might be more Manchester-based than incorporating Goffstown?
I know they usually have a speaker that speaks more on the state level. I know they've had
I guess I could probably,
Steve, I'm trying to think of the New Hampshire Center for Public Policy has given talks there. They usually have a guest speaker that speaks to the a broader region or New Hampshire economy versus Manchester. But it is the Greater Manchester Chamber of Commerce, so that is really focused on Manchester. But usually their speaker focuses on New Hampshire,
okay,
or at least the southern half of the state.
agritourism.
Anything else? Make a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good meeting, thank you. Thank you, Derek.